She hid her $50,000 wedding debt from her first marriage. I thought you'd pay it off as a wedding gift. She sobbed. I replied, return to sender. Then I annulled our marriage on the grounds of financial fraud. She is now divorced twice and still in debt. 3 months married. That's how long it took for me to discover the debt. I found it by accident, looking for a warranty document in Amanda's nightstand drawer. Found a stack of credit card statements instead, hidden under old magazines, all unopened, all marked final notice in red. Capital 1, $43,287.56 balance. Minimum payment $247 per month. Interest rate 24.99%. Account opened 3 years ago. No payments in 4 months. I kept looking, found more. Chase, $4,285. Discover, $2,427. Some boutique called Ever After Bridal Credit, $1,001. Total, just over $51,000. Round it to 50 grand. All in her name. Amanda Chen Morrison now, but the accounts were opened as Amanda Chen. All showing the same address, my address. But she'd been hiding the statements, taking them from the mailbox before I saw them, stashing them unopened, all from vendors and services dated 2 to 3 years ago. Right around the time of her first wedding, to a guy named Andrew, the marriage that lasted 8 months. She'd been hiding this for 3 months. Since we got married, since she moved in, since she gained access to my mailbox. I didn't confront her immediately. I'm a financial analyst. Pattern recognition is literally my job. When something doesn't add up, I investigate. I pulled my credit report, clean, 785 score, no joint accounts with her, good. I pulled our marriage certificate, standard form, no weird clauses, no financial agreements beyond basic spousal rights. I checked my bank accounts, nothing unusual. She hadn't asked for access to my accounts. We kept finances separate. She paid for groceries sometimes. I paid for dinners out. Rent was mine, my house, owned outright. Her only contribution was utilities, which she Venmo'd me monthly, about $200. So where was her money going? She made $67,000 as a marketing manager. I made $110,000. She should have had money. Enough to at least make minimum payments and not hide final notice statements. Unless the debt was so bad she couldn't even afford her old apartment anymore. Unless marrying me was her solution. I decided to test something. That evening, Amanda came home from work around 6:30. Normal day. We ordered Thai food. Watched TV. Around 8, I brought it up casually. Hey, random question. You got all your bills switched over to this address, right? Yeah, I updated everything. Why? No reason. Just making sure nothing's going to your old place. I forwarded everything months ago. Even credit cards? She paused. Brief. Barely noticeable. I only have the one Chase card, for points. That's it? Yeah, I don't believe in carrying a lot of credit cards. Too easy to overspend. Lie. Direct lie. She had 4 cards minimum. Smart, I said. That's a trap. Exactly. She smiled. I've never carried a balance. Second lie. The next day, I took photos of all the statements, put them back exactly where I found them. Then I waited to see what she'd do. That evening, I got home before her. Checked the mailbox, 2 more credit card statements, Capital One and Discover, both with final notice stamps. I left them on the kitchen counter. Went to my office, watched from the doorway when she got home. She walked in, saw the statements, froze, grabbed them immediately, started toward the bedroom. Those came today? I called out. She jumped, turned around. These are mine. I know, final notices, both of them. Her face went pale. Want to talk about it? She didn't answer. Just stood there holding the envelopes. I walked to the bedroom, opened her nightstand drawer, pulled out the stack of hidden statements, brought them to the kitchen table, laid them out one by one, or we can talk about these. She stood in the doorway, staring at the table, at $50,000 in debt spread across our kitchen counter. What's this? Her voice was small. You tell me. She didn't move, just stared. I found them in your nightstand, I said, hidden under magazines, all unopened, all final notices. I can explain. I'm sure you can. She sat down, slowly, picked up the Capital One statement. It's not what it looks like. It looks like $50,000 in credit card debt you hid from me. I didn't hide it. I just didn't mention it. What's the difference? I was gonna tell you. I just needed time. Time for what? She didn't answer. Amanda, where did this debt come from? She looked at me. Eyes watery. The wedding. Your first wedding. Yes. To Andrew. Yes. I sat back. You spent $50,000 on a wedding that lasted 8 months. It wasn't supposed to last 8 months. It was supposed to be forever. We planned this huge wedding. 300 guests, country club venue, designer dress. The band alone was $8,000. And you paid for all of this on credit? We both did. It was supposed to be our dream wedding. But it's your name on these accounts. Because Andrew refused to pay after the divorce. Said it was my fault for leaving him. Said I could deal with the debt myself. So you've been carrying this for how long? 2 years. Making minimum payments. Trying to. While making $67,000 a year. The minimum payments alone are almost $1,500 a month. Add rent, utilities, car payment, insurance, food. I can't afford that and still have a life. What was your rent at your old place? $2,200 for a 1-bedroom in a decent area. So there it was, $1,500 in debt payments plus $2,200 in rent, $3,700 per month on a $5,580 monthly income, leaving $880 for car, insurance, food, utilities, phone, everything else. Impossible to sustain. So you moved in with me. She looked down. I needed help. You needed someone to pay your bills. No, I love you. I wanted to be with you. But the debt was part of it. She didn't deny it. Just sat there, crying. Amanda, did you marry me to get out of debt? No, I married you because I love you. But you hid $50,000 in debt from me. You intercepted the bills and hid them in your nightstand so I wouldn't see them. You lied when I asked about credit cards. You've been lying this entire time. I was scared. I thought if you knew, you wouldn't want to be with me. So deception was the solution? I thought we'd work it out together. I thought once we were married, you'd help me. Help you how? She looked at me. Pay it off, as like a wedding gift or a gesture. You make good money, you own your house, you don't have debt. I thought you'd just take care of it. I stared at her. You thought I'd pay $50,000 as a wedding gift. Other people do it. I read about couples who combine finances and pay off debt together. Couples who are honest with each other from the start. Not couples where one person hides massive debt and hopes the other person fixes it. I wasn't hoping, I was planning to tell you. When? Soon. It's been 3 months. When exactly were you planning to mention your $50,000 in debt? She didn't answer. I stood up. I need to think about this. Don't leave, please, we can figure this out. Figure what out? You lied to me, you're still lying. I'm not. You said you only have 1 credit card, you have at least 4. You said you've never carried a balance. You're drowning in debt. Everything you've told me about your finances is a lie. I didn't want you to think I was irresponsible. You spent $50,000 on a wedding that lasted 8 months. That's the definition of irresponsible. I was in love. And now you're married to someone who you lied to so you could offload your bad decisions onto them. She sobbed, full breakdown. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I just didn't know what else to do. I can't make the payments. I can't afford to live. I needed help. Then you should have asked. Before we got married, you should have been honest. Would you have still married me? Good question. Honest answer? Probably not. Not because of the debt itself, people make mistakes, but because of the deception, the calculated hiding of information, the plan to trap me into paying for her ex-husband's dream wedding. I don't know, I said, but you didn't give me the choice. I went to bed in the guest room that night. She slept in our room. I heard her crying through the wall. Next morning, I called a divorce attorney, guy named Richard Chen. No relation to Amanda, just coincidentally the same last name. He specialized in annulments. I'd been married 3 months, I told him. Wife hid $50,000 in debt from me, all from her first wedding. Been hiding unopened bills in her nightstand, taking statements from the mailbox before I could see them. Lied directly when I asked about her finances. Can I annul based on fraud? Potentially yes, Richard said. Financial fraud as grounds for annulment requires proving she entered the marriage with fraudulent intent. Did she specifically marry you to gain financial benefit? She admitted she moved in with me because she couldn't afford rent while making debt payments. She admitted she expected me to pay off her debt as a wedding gift. She deliberately hid the extent of her financial situation. That's strong. Do you have documentation? Credit card statements showing months of unopened bills, photos of them hidden in her nightstand, Timestamps showing I discovered them 3 months into marriage. Her own admission that she expected me to handle the debt. Get her admission in writing if you don't already have it. I got it in writing. That evening, I told Amanda I wanted to talk. Set my phone on the table between us, recording app open and visible. I'm recording this, I said, for documentation purposes. She nodded, didn't object. I need you to be completely honest, I said. Why did you hide these credit card bills from me? Because I was going to lose my apartment. I couldn't afford the rent and the debt payments. I needed to move in with you. And you expected me to help with the debt? Yes. I thought once we were married, we'd combine finances and you'd help me pay it off. Did you plan this before you moved in? I knew I needed help. I knew you were financially stable. I thought being with you would fix things. So you deliberately hid the debt because you thought I'd refuse to marry you if I knew? Yes. And you expected me to pay off $50,000 in debt from your previous marriage without discussing it first? I thought you'd want to help me. I thought that's what spouses do. Got it all recorded. Played it back to make sure audio was clear. Perfect. Filed for annulment Tuesday morning. Grounds: fraud. Fraudulent inducement to marry based on concealment of material financial information. Had her served Wednesday at her office. Process server handed her the papers during lunch break. She called me immediately. 16 missed calls in 20 minutes. I didn't answer. Sent a text. Talk to your lawyer. Don't contact me directly. She showed up at the house that evening. I didn't let her in. Talked through the door. You can't do this. We're married. For now, annulment proceedings are underway. You can't just annul a marriage. We took vows. Vows you entered fraudulently. You married me under false pretenses. I didn't. You hid $50,000 in debt. You lied about your financial situation. You admitted you expected me to pay your bills without discussing it. That's fraud, Amanda. I'll pay the debt myself. I'll figure it out. Good, you should. It's your debt. Please, don't do this. I love you. You loved my bank account. That's not true. Isn't it? Tell me honestly. If I was broke, would you have married me? She hesitated. Fatal hesitation. That's what I thought. Return to sender, Amanda. Go back to Andrew or whoever will pay your bills next. You're cruel. I'm honest, something you're not. She left. I heard her car peel out of the driveway. The annulment process took 2 months. Richard filed the paperwork, included all documentation, credit card statements, text messages, recorded conversation, timeline of deception. Amanda's lawyer tried to fight it, claimed she had no fraudulent intent, claimed debt isn't grounds for annulment, claimed I was being vindictive. He filed a motion to dismiss. Richard countered with a 50-page brief citing case law. Precedent from 12 different states showing financial fraud is valid grounds for annulment. Examples of similar cases where concealed debt voided marriages. We had a hearing. Both of us, both lawyers, sitting in a courtroom. Amanda wore a black dress. Professional, respectful, trying to look sympathetic. Her lawyer argued that debt acquired during a previous marriage isn't fraud. That many people enter relationships with financial baggage. That I'd never asked about her debt specifically, so she hadn't lied. Richard destroyed that argument, pointed out that she'd actively concealed the debt by hiding statements in her nightstand, that she'd intercepted mail before he could see it, that she'd lied when directly asked about credit cards, that she'd admitted expecting him to pay her debts without prior discussion, that she'd admitted she would have lost her previous apartment without using him for financial support. The judge asked Amanda directly, "Did you intentionally conceal these debts from your husband?" She hesitated. I didn't know how to bring it up. That's not what I asked. Did you intentionally conceal them? Yes, but not to defraud him. I just didn't want him to think badly of me. And did you expect him to help pay these debts? I hoped we'd work it out together as a married couple. Did you discuss this with him before marriage? No. Why not? I was afraid he'd leave me. Judge nodded, made notes, reviewed the documents again. But the evidence was overwhelming. She'd deliberately concealed material financial information. She'd admitted to expecting me to pay her debts. She'd married me, at least in part, for financial benefit. Judge reviewed everything, took 45 minutes to read through the file. Then he ruled. Annulment granted. Marriage declared void from inception. No spousal support, no division of assets, complete severance. Amanda sat in the courtroom crying. Her lawyer patted her shoulder. Didn't matter. She wasn't married anymore. She was right back where she started. Divorced twice, $50,000 in debt, no backup plan. After the hearing, I went back to work. Life continued. Removed her from my emergency contacts, changed the locks on my house, forwarded any mail that came for her back to her new address, a studio apartment across town. Rent, $1,400. She downgraded significantly. 3 weeks after the annulment finalized, she texted me. First contact since the courtroom. Started the bankruptcy process. Thought you should know. Why would I need to know? Because you're why I'm in this position. No, your spending habits are why you're in that position. Your fraud is why we're divorced. Annulled, not divorced. Semantics, you're single and in debt either way. I could have made it work if you just helped me. I'm not responsible for your bad decisions. I thought you loved me. I thought you loved me too. Turns out we were both wrong. She didn't respond. I blocked her number. 5 months later, I ran into her at Target, literally turned a corner in the home goods section, and there she was. Looked different. Thinner, tired, pushing a cart with generic brand cleaning supplies. She saw me, froze. Hey, Amanda. Awkward silence. How are you? She asked. Fine. You? Managing. She glanced at her cart. Bankruptcy went through last month, Chapter 7, wiped out all the credit card debt. Good for you. Yeah, fresh start. She paused. I'm sorry for everything. Okay. I shouldn't have lied. I was desperate and scared, and I made bad choices. Yes, you did. Do you forgive me? I thought about it. I don't think forgiveness is the right word. I understand you were in a difficult situation. I understand desperation makes people do stupid things. But no, I don't forgive the fraud, the lying, the manipulation. She nodded. That's fair. Are you doing okay now? Relatively. Bankruptcy destroyed my credit, can't get approved for anything, had to put down 3 months' deposit for my apartment, had to buy a used car cash because no one would finance me. But I'm managing. And the debt's gone? Most of it. Chapter 7 wiped out the credit cards. But there were some old medical bills and a personal loan from a friend that I couldn't discharge. About $12,000 total. Payment plans for both. So you're still in debt? Yeah, just less of it. She smiled weakly. I'm dating someone new. He knows everything this time. I learned my lesson. Good. Be honest with him. I am. I have to be. Can't hide bankruptcy when your credit score is 520. True. We stood there. Two people who used to be married, now strangers. I should go, she said. Yeah, take care of yourself, Amanda. You too. She pushed her cart away. I watched her turn the corner, disappeared into the cleaning aisle. I went home, poured a whiskey, sat on my deck, thought about the last 6 months. I dated Amanda for 8 months before she proposed. She'd seemed normal, responsible, had a good job, nice apartment, never asked me for money. Seemed financially stable. Looking back, there were signs, small ones. She always wanted to go to expensive restaurants but never offered to split the check, just assumed I'd pay. She forgot her wallet a lot. Movies, coffee shops, grocery store. She talked about her wedding a lot. Her first one, how beautiful it was, how perfect, how expensive, worth every penny, she'd said. Even if the marriage didn't last, I have the memories. Red flag, huge red flag. Worth every penny, of $50,000 for 8 months of marriage. But I'd chalked it up to her being sentimental. Didn't realize she meant it literally. Didn't realize she was still paying for those memories. She'd moved in after 6 months of dating. Her lease was up, she said. Made sense to move in together, save money, be practical. I thought she meant save money together. Turns out she meant save her money by having me cover most of the expenses. She'd proposed to me, actually. Not the other way around. 8 months into dating. Took me to a nice restaurant. Gave me a watch, asked me to marry her. I know it's usually the guy, but I don't care about tradition. I want to be with you. At the time it felt romantic, progressive, modern. Now it felt calculated. She was running out of time, running out of money, needed to lock me down before I found out about the debt, and it almost worked. If I hadn't been looking for that warranty document, I might never have found those hidden statements. She could have kept intercepting the mail, hiding the bills, making minimum payments secretly, could have kept lying indefinitely, or maybe she would have asked me for help eventually. Some sob story about unexpected expenses. Could I loan her a few thousand? She'd pay me back. Promise. Except she'd never pay me back. She'd ask for more and more, until I was paying her entire debt load without even realizing it. That's the thing about financial fraud. It's not always dramatic. Sometimes it's just slow erosion, a constant taking without giving back, a relationship that's more transaction than partnership. I dodged a bullet, or rather, I stopped the bullet after it grazed me. 3 months married, minimal financial entanglement, clean annulment, no lasting damage except to my trust in people. Could have been worse. Could have been 2 years, 5 years, could have co-signed loans, joint accounts, joint debt, could have been trapped. Instead, I got out. Amanda got bankruptcy. We both moved on. Her new guy? Hope he knows what he's getting into. Hope she's actually being honest this time. But if she's not, that's his problem now, not mine. I'm back to dating, casually, not rushing into anything, running credit checks, asking financial questions up front, making sure there are no surprises. People think that's paranoid. You can't start a relationship with a credit check, my friends say. That's insane. Maybe. But you know what's actually insane? Marrying someone who hides $50,000 in debt and expects you to pay it as a wedding gift. Hard pass. I'll take paranoid and single over trusting and broke. She's divorced twice now. Technically annulled once, divorced once. But who's counting? She's still in debt. Bankruptcy discharged the credit cards, but she's got the medical bills and personal loan payments, and probably new debt from her post-bankruptcy life. New car, new apartment, new expenses, old patterns. Me, I'm debt-free, single, house paid off, 785 credit score, retirement accounts growing, and I run credit checks on dates now. My friends think it's extreme. I think marrying someone with $50,000 in hidden debt is extreme. Amanda went from Andrew to me to the next guy, always looking for someone to save her. I hope she learns to save herself eventually. But that's not my problem anymore. I'm just the guy who returned to sender, and I'm fine with that.